For regular videos on ancient cultures and forgotten civilizations, please subscribe.
We're going to be traveling through the Nile Delta, and one of the destinations is going to be, we're going to be investigating the only royal tomb that was discovered intact. Now you might say, wait a minute, I thought that was King Tut's tomb. That's the only intact royal tomb, right? No! A lot of people don't know this, but the tomb of Tutankhamun was disturbed at least twice in ancient times. It was not fully intact when it was discovered by Howard Carter. No, we're going to another tomb where 3 kings were buried, and the treasures were all there in the tomb, found undisturbed. Intrigued? Well, you're going to find out more later.
The city of Janet, better known by its Greek name Tanis, is at a place called San el Hajar today. Nezbenebjed of the 21st dynasty, known to the Greeks as Smendes, set up his royal residence here. Pasebkanu I of the same dynasty, known to the Greeks as Psasanes, engaged in considerable building work here, turning the new capital into a major city. Later, the Meshwesh Libyans chose to keep the city as the center of their government too. The royal cemetery of Tanis can be found at the southeastern part of the temple complex. Compared to the New Kingdom tombs in the Valley of the Kings, the tombs of the 21st to 23rd dynasty kings are relatively small.
We're standing here in Tanis at the only royal tomb that was discovered intact, and it's the tomb of Pasebkanu I, also known as Psasanes I in Greek. And you're looking here into the burial chamber. It's kind of hard to see from out here. But this tomb here contained more than just one royal body. It had several royal bodies because not only was Pasebkanu found in there, but also 2 of his sons. Many wonderful treasures were found in this tomb because it had never been opened.
The tomb, NRT3 it's called, is closed to the general public. Archaeologist Pierre Montet discovered it on March 18, 1939, and 3 days later, he opened it in front of an audience that included King Farouk I. It contains 5 chambers. Going through the entrance shaft, he happened upon a chamber containing the bodies of 2 of Pasebkanu's sons, Siamun and Pasebkanu II, both of whom were kings after Pasebkanu. Over here to the left were 2 other chambers, one being the tomb of another son, General Ankefenmut, and the other of General Wenkebaunjed, a very important person, but apparently not of the royal family. Also, Montet found the coffin of a 22nd dynasty king, Shoshenq II. Scientists found evidence of plant growth on the base of his coffin, which suggests that Shoshenq II's original tomb had become waterlogged, and so he needed to be moved. So he was reinterred in this tomb. You might call it a Shawshank redemption. On February 15, 1940, Montet discovered the corridor to Pasebkanu's chamber. It was sealed with a single granite plug made from a section of an obelisk of Ramses II. It took 6 days for the workmen to chip away the block and open the chamber. Here, they found an intact burial, the treasures of Pasebkanu I. He was interred in a granite sarcophagus that once belonged to Pharaoh Meremptah from the 19th dynasty. In the sarcophagus, Montet found a silver coffin, a gold mummy board, and a golden mask covering the king's face. These finds are now in the Cairo Museum, which we will see in a few days. Next to the king's chamber was that of his wife, also his sister, Mutnojmet. But after the death of their son Amenemope, her body was swapped out for his, and that is who Montet found. There were other tombs discovered here, not intact. Tomb NRT4 was originally dedicated to Pasebkanu's successor, Amenemope, and it included a significant sarcophagus bearing the king's name. This sarcophagus was found empty because the king's body and his funerary materials were transported to Tomb NRT3. Tomb NRT5 was Shoshenq III's tomb, but Shoshenq IV decided he wanted to be in there next to him. The tomb of Osorkon II, NRT1, was the first discovered at the site. It has been largely looted.
Wow.
This is incredible.
Look at the size.
Wow.
This is the sarcophagus of Osorkon II, the king of Egypt. Look
Amazing.
at the size of it.
It's huge.
Isn't it something?
And there's quite a little drop down here too, so you can't easily step down below.
This particular tomb was not discovered intact, but it was a royal tomb.
Incredible.
Also interred in this tomb was his young son, Hornacht, who was the high priest of Amun at Tanis, and who had died before his father. Osorkon's father, Tekelot I, was interred in this tomb as well. Both his and Osorkon's sarcophagus were borrowed. Tekelot's was from the Middle Kingdom, and Osorkon's was from the New Kingdom. Speaking of borrowing, we think Osorkon II's tomb originally belonged to Nezbanebjed, Smendes. Tomb NRT-2 belonged to Prince Pimai, Shoshenq III's son. Clearly at this time, the tombs were not as rich as they had been in earlier times, and kings reused older sarcophaguses instead of paying to have new ones made. But the discovery of the royal tombs at Tanis have given us essential information about the burial traditions of this period,